Hello everyone, welcome to the series of lecture on C programming. In today's class we are going to discuss about various standard string library functions provided by the C programming. Okay, so before going to discuss about a string library functions, first of all, what is a library function? Library function is nothing but a built-in function, a predefined functions which are available in C library. Okay, C library provides us various of library functions. Okay, all the functions depends upon our requirement we can import into our program. So now we are going to discuss about string library functions. Okay, so library functions are nothing but a built-in functions. These library functions are easily accessible through a header file. Okay, so all these library functions will be placed in a particular header file. If you want to access any input output functions, you have to include stdio.h header file. Okay, if you want to use any input functions or any output functions, you have to include this header file into your program. Now we are going to discuss about string built-in functions. Okay, so there are many library functions that are operate on strings. There are many library functions that are operate on strings. So these library functions are available in string.h header file. These library functions are available in string.h header file. Header file you have to include in your program like this: hash include string.h hash include string.h. So with the help of string.h header file, you can include various built-in functions which are related to strings. Okay, let us see what are the predefined functions or built-in functions available in that string.h header file. Okay, the first function is strlen, which is used to find the length of a string, given string, right? Next, strcpy, which is used to copy the content from source string to destination string, which is used to copy a string from one string to another string, right? NCPY means it is also used to copy string from one string, source string to destination string, but N indicates that how many characters you are going to copy from source to destination. Number of characters, copying number of characters from source string to destination string, that N you have to specify here, right? And next one is strcat, concatenation, which is used to join two strings, together. String concatenation is used to join two strings, right? strncat, how many characters you are going to join from source to destination? How many characters you are going to append from source to destination? You are going to join number of characters. How many characters you are going to join? That number here you have to specify. strcat and strncat are used to concatenate two strings. Here N you have to specify how many characters you are going to concatenate. Here the whole string you are going to concatenate, right? strcmp is used to compare two strings. strcmp is used to compare two two strings, whether the two given strings are equal or not, whether the two given strings are equal or not. With the help of strcmp, you can identify whether the given strings are equal or not. Okay, and the next one is strncmp. strncmp. CMP is used to compare two strings. Okay, the whole strings will be compared there. But in strncmp, you are going to compare only a particular number of characters in the given string. Okay, use it to compare n characters. Compare n number of characters. N number of characters. strncmp is used to compare n number of characters, right? And the next one is strcmpi. strcmpi. strcmp and strncmp are used to compare two strings. Okay, so if you are using hello in one string and hello in another string, it will return false. Both the strings are not equal because the first string is in lower case and the second string is in upper case. So it returns false. But here strcmpi, it ignores the case. strcmp compare and ignore case. Compare and ignore the case. Compare and ignore the case. If you have given the same input to this function, it will return true. It will return true. It will return true, right? So this is strcmpi. Next, strcmpi. strncmpi is nothing but it can also compare two strings and it will also ignore the case, but it will compare only n number of characters. It will compare only n number of characters and ignore the string. N number of characters and ignore the string, right? And strrev, which is used to reverse the given string. Which is used to reverse the given string. strrev is used to reverse the given string. And next one is strlwr. strlwr, which is used to convert the given string into lower case. Which is used to convert the given string into lower case. Convert the given string into lower case. Next one is strupr. strupr is used to convert the given string into uppercase. Used to convert the given string into uppercase. And strset. strset is used to convert the given string into a particular character. Given string into a particular character. Right? Like for example, in the password field, I want to give my password, but it will be visible like some stars or dollars. It will be appeared like some star or a dollar symbol, any other special character or any other special symbol. So you can make your all the given string into a characters. You can set the given string into a specific symbol or a character, right? That is strset. Okay, you can set with a particular character. Set with a particular character. strncet. strncet. strset is used to set the whole string into a particular character. strset will set the whole string into a particular character. But whereas strncet will set a particular number of characters into the given specific symbol or specific character. It won't convert the given entire string into a particular character. Only number of characters. Only number of characters will be set. Only number of characters will be set. Right? strchr. strchr used to find out for a particular character in the given string or not. strchr is used to find for a particular character if any particular character is available in the given string or not. It is used to check for a character, for a given character. strchr is used to check for a given character. If it is available, if the given character is available, it will return a pointer from that character onwards. It will return a pointer from that character onwards. strchr is used to check the first occurrence. It is used to check the first occurrence. strchr is used to check the last occurrence of the given character. Last occurrence of the given character. Right? For example, in this string HELLO, if I want to check for L, strchr returns this pointer. strchr returns the last occurrence. strchr will returns the last occurrence of a given character. Right? These are all different functions. These are all different built-in functions which are related to string. Let us discuss all these functions one by one with an example. Okay. So, the first built-in function is, so strlen. The first function what we have is strlen. strlen is used to find the length of the given string. strlen is used to find the length of the given string. Okay. So, the syntax of strlen is strlen, and what is the string we are going to find the length. That string you have to pass it as an input, and it will return the number of characters of that string. It will return an integer. That integer is nothing but the number of characters what we passed it as an input. See here, I have defined a character array, yes, and I did not specify any size of that array, and the content of this array is hello, HELLO. And how many characters here I have given is 5 characters. How many characters here I have passed? 5 characters. So, int L integer, right, equals to strlen of yes. strlen of yes. So, what is yes? S is pointing to the hello. So, how many characters are there for hello? 5 characters. So, now the value of L equals to 5. Now, the value of L is equals to 5. Right? And we have an example, we have a program on this string length, strlen. Okay. So, as we are going to use string library functions, okay, string predefined functions, you have to include this header file string.h. You have to include the header file string.h. Okay. And I am declaring a variable, a character array ptr, and the message of ptr is dear. And one more array here I am passing 50, the size of this array is 50, reader, and I am going to find the length of these 2 character arrays. The length of the strings, we are going to find the length of these 2 strings. Hello, sorry, hello is %d, strlen, hello. So, what is the output here? Hello is 5, and printf %s is %d. So, here %s points to ptr. ptr, what ptr is having? We have dear. So, the length of dear is, how many characters here we have? 4 characters, and %s is %d. Here the %s is pointing to name. Okay. So, what is the name here? Reader. So, how many characters for reader? It is 6 characters. So, this is the way we can get the output. The length of the strings. We are going to display the length of the strings. Hello, length of the hello is 5. Length of the dear is 4. Length of the reader is 6. Length of the reader is 6. So, this is the output we can get if you execute this program. Okay. So, this is the output. The length of the strings, hello is 5, dear is 4, and reader is 6. This is the way you can get the output. Okay. And the next function is strcpy. strcpy is used to copy the source string into the destination string. To copy the source string into the destination string. And the syntax is strcpy of destination string as well as source string. Destination string as well as source string. Okay, let us see with an example. Okay, before going to use any predefined functions which are related to string, you have to import this string.h. If you did not include this string.h, you will get an error. Okay, so we will start a program. String 1 is 10. The size of string 1 is 10 and the value of string 1 is Vignan. And I am declaring two more character variables, string 2 and string 3, right? And now I am trying to copy the content of string 1 into string 2. I am trying to copy the content of string 1 into string 2. Now str1 is pointing Vignan. str2 and str3. We declared two more variables, but these two variables are not pointing anything. Now, after executing this instruction, what happened? str2 will copy this content. That means str2 will also have Vignan. str2 will also have Vignan. Next, strcpy of str3 comma hello. str3 comma hello. What I am trying to copy? I am not going to get any value from any other variable. Directly I am passing a string over here. Directly I am passing a string over here. Now str3 is having the content hello. str3 is having the content hello. Okay, let us display all the strings. Put as str2, we are going to display string 2. Put as str3, we are going to display string 3. Okay, so what is the output we will get? str2. See here, str2. What str2 is pointing? Vignan. Did we get the same output or not? Yes. And put as of str3, what it is pointing? str3 is pointing hello. Did we get the same output or not? Yes, hello. So this is the way we can copy the strings from source to destination. And the next one is strncpy. ncpy indicates that you are going to copy only n number of characters from source to destination. strncpy indicates that you are going to copy only n number of characters from source to destination. See the syntax here. strncpy of destination comma source comma how many number of characters you are going to copy. How many number of characters you are going to copy. That means we are not going to copy the entire string into destination. We are going to copy only few characters from source to destination. Right? We will discuss this strncpy with a simple example. Source, Vignan University. Source is Vignan University. And the target is, right now it is empty. See the arrays. Target. Right now it is empty. It is empty. So I am displaying my source string as well as a target string. At this point of time I can display source as Vignan University and target as empty. Target as empty, null. We did not have anything, right? Next, I am going to copy strncpy, target, source. How many characters I am going to copy? Only 5 characters. Now I am displaying my target string after strncpy. I am going to display my target string after strncpy. Now my output is target points to how many characters we are going to copy? Only 5 characters. Vigna. Vigna. So only 5 characters you are going to copy from source to destination, source to destination. So that is the output we will get with the help of strncpy, with the help of strncpy. See the output. First we will get Vignan University, an empty space, and again you will get VIGNA, VIGNA. Okay, try to execute all these programs. Okay, and the next one is strcat. strcat is used to concatenate two strings. strcat is used to concatenate two strings. See here, it will append a copy of the source string to the end of the destination string. It will append a copy of source string to the end of the destination string. Okay, so here we have to pass two arguments as an input to this strcat, destination string as well as a source string. strcat of destination comma source string, destination comma source string. Why we are using source as a constant? Why we are not using destination as a constant? Because constant means it is a fixed value. The source might be a fixed value, but destination should not be a fixed value, because you are going to do some modifications on the destination with the help of source string. That's why the syntax tells us destination should not be a constant, but the source might be a constant. The source might be a constant. Okay, let us see this strcat with an example. Source, university. What is our source? What is our target? Destination, that means. Vignan. Okay, I am printing source string as well as a target string. This is a source string and this is a target string. Now I am going to concatenate the source with the target. I am going to concatenate the source with the target. What happens? It is going to make a copy. It is going to append a copy of the source string to the destination string. strcat is going to append a copy of the source string to the destination string. Right? Now, after this instruction, target will changes to, it is the initial value of target, Vignan. Now it is going to appended here. Vignan University. After completion of this one, this instruction, the target value will be changed to Vignan University. Vignan University. So this is the way you can append your content from one string to another string. You can join your content. The source string, a copy of source string will be appended to the destination string. Will be appended to the destination string. See, this is the destination string we have right now. Vignan University. Vignan University. And the next one is strncat. So strcat, what we have in strcat? strcat is going to append the entire string. strcat is going to append the entire string over here. We are going to append the entire string from the source to destination. But strncat will append only n number of characters from the source to destination. strncat will append only n number of characters from source to destination. Right? So here how many arguments you have to pass? 3 arguments, destination, source, and how many characters you are going to append. See here, destination, source, and a number of characters we are going to append. Okay, see with an example. University, target, that means source is university, target is, right now it is Vignan, and we are going to concatenate only 4 characters. We are going to concatenate only 4 characters from source to destination. So how many characters we are going? UNIV. Up to UNIV we are going to concatenate into the destination. Okay. So this helps us, or this will makes the target value as VIGNAN UNI. So this is the value we have after executing this instruction. Okay. So now we are printing target string after strncat is this output. This output Vignan University UNIV. These are the 4 characters we are going to append, right? This is about strncat. And the next function is strcmp. strcmp is used to compare 2 strings. strcmp is used to compare 2 strings. So, string 1. Here we are not going to do any modifications on any strings. Here we are taking 2 strings as an input and we are checking that whether the 2 strings are equal or not. Whether the 2 strings are equal or not. That's why here we are making both the strings are constant. Both the strings are maybe a constants. Constant string 1 and constant string 2. Okay. Here why I am using this asterisk symbol means a character array. A character array will be represented in the form of asterisk also. Okay. So, string 1 and string 2, we are passing 2 arguments, string 1 and string 2. And now we are going to compare whether the 2 strings are equal or not. What it returns? It will returns an integer. It will returns an integer, right? See here. A return value is less than 0. The return value is less than 0. That means it may be a -1. It may be a -1 when it indicates that str1 is less than str2. It indicates that str1 is less than str2 and the return value is greater than 0. That means +1 indicates that str2 is less than str1. Indicates that str2 is less than str1. And return value is equals to 0. That means it returns 0. It returns 0. That means both str1 is equals to str2. It indicates that both the strings are equal. Both the strings are equal. Let us demonstrate this strcmp with a simple example. str1. The value of str1 is fresh and the value of str2 is refresh. Okay. Now I am going to compare str1 with str2. I am going to compare str1 with str1 with the value fresh only. I am not going to take any variable. Okay. str1. What is the value of str1? Fresh. The value of str1 is fresh. So here it is nothing but fresh. Or both the values equal or not? FRESH. Both the values are equal or not? Yes, both the values are equal. So, the value of I should be 0. The value of I should be 0. Right? And here, you are going to compare str1 with str2. What is the value of str2 here? Refresh. So here the value of str1 is fresh and the value of str2 is refresh. So the first character in str1 is F and the first character in str2 is R. So here what it indicates that str1 is less than str2. That means F is less than R. F is less than R. How I am telling that F is less than R? Just it is nothing but ASCII value. With the help of ASCII value, we can identify which value is greater, right? So now F is less than R. F is less than R. See here, if str1 is less than str2, what it returns? -1. What it returns? -1. So definitely the value of J is -1. Now strcmp of str1 comma F. str1 comma F. Right? So here What is the value of str1? fresh. Fresh. And here what is the value we have? Only f. So you are going to compare fresh with f. So two letters, both are equal. We have here r. Do we have r here? Do we have r here? No. So which one is greater? str1 is greater than str2. str1 is greater than str2. So if the string str1 is greater than str2, if the string str1 is greater than str2, it will return a positive value. It will return a positive value, +1. See, these are the outputs what we have, 0, -1 and 1. If the both strings are equal, it will return 0. If the first string is less than the second string, it will return -1. If the first string is greater than second string, it will return +1. It will return +1, right? So this is about strcmp. In strcmp, we are going to compare even the case also. If the case is not matched, it will also return either 0 or 1 or -1. Okay. That means we have to follow the case also. It will consider the case also. It is not going to ignore the case. Right. This is about strcmp. Okay. Next, strncmp. strncmp is going to use it to compare only n number of characters. It is going to compare only n number of characters. See here the syntax is strncmp string 1, string 2 and number of characters The same thing here also. Okay, the return value is less than 0. If it is, the first one is less than str2, that means it is -1, it is +1, it is 0. -1, +1 and 0. The same thing what we have discussed in our previous function strcmp. Okay, if the first string is less than second string, it will return -1. If the first string is greater than second string, then it will return +1. If both the strings are equal, then it will return 0. But here we are not going to compare the whole string. We are going to compare only n number of characters from source of string 1 as well as in the string 2. Okay. See with an example. strncmp of hello. The first string is hello and the second string is hello Vignan. And how many characters I want to compare? Only 3 characters. So what are the first 3 characters? HEL. And what are the first 3 characters here also? HEL. So what it returns? It returns 0 because both HEL and HEL both are equal. So it returns 0. Even though the first string is hello and the second string is hello Vignan, we are not bothering about the entire string. We are just bothering about only 3 characters. If the 3 characters are equal, then it will return 0. Again, the same string we will consider strncmp hello Vignan 6. So now what happened? HELLO. Here we have only 5 characters. Here we have more than 5 characters. So definitely you should, your integer should be within the size only. So you have to give first 5 characters only. So it will also returns 0. And strncmp of hello world, comma, hello Vignan, comma 6. So what it returns? Hello, hello, both are same. But here what is the word I have? World, W. And what is the letter character here I have? V, Vignan. So which one is greater, W or V? V is greater. So V is less than W. So it returns plus 1. W is greater than V. W is greater than V. So the output is plus 1. The output is plus 1. So this is the way you can compare n number of characters from one string to another string, right? And next one is strcmpi. strcmpi will ignores the case, and the return values are again similar. If the string 1 is less than string 2, it returns minus 1. If the string 1 is greater than string 2, it returns plus 1. If the both strings are equal, it returns 0. It returns 0. Here it should not consider the case. It will ignores the case. It will ignores the case. We will see with an example. strcmpi. First string is hello. Second string is hello. So what is the output? Both are equal. It does not consider the case. It does not consider the case. Because of this I, it returns 0. The same input, if you pass strcmp, hello, comma, then what happened? strcmp should consider the case also. So it will return minus 1. It will return minus 1. Right? So this is the way you can compare your strings even by considering the case or without considering the case also. If you should not consider the case, then you have to prefer strcmpi. If you should not consider the case, if you want to neglect the case, you have to use strcmpi. If you want to consider the case also, you have to use strcmp, right? So this is the way you can compare two strings. Similarly, strncmpi we have, strncmpi. Okay, you are going to ignore the case and you are going to count or you are going to compare only n number of characters. You are going to ignore the case as well as you are going to compare only n number of characters. You are going to compare only n number of characters. See, this is the syntax. strncmpi, string 1, string 2, and how many characters you are going to compare. Okay, we will write one example. strncmpi, hello world, so here we have all in mixed case and here we have all the characters are in uppercase only, and I am going to compare only 6 characters. So this is the way you can compare two strings with a number also. How many characters you are going to compare, that number also you can provide it as an input. Right? This is about strncmpi. And the next function is strrev. strrev is used to reverse the content of the given string. strrev is used to reverse the content of the given string. So strrev of string. Our string is Vignan. Okay, you are going to display your string before performing reverse operation. and perform reverse operation strrev of S. After reverse also again you are going to display. So first the value of S is Vignan. After strrev, the value of S is NaNgiV. This is the output. After performing reverse operation, S is holding this value NaNgiV, right? And the next function is strLWR. strLWR is used to convert the given content into a complete lower case. This function will convert the content of this given string into a lower case, strLWR of string. So here I am providing a mixed case content VIGNAN. S equals to VIGNAN. After strLWR of S, it will be converted, the S will be converted into all small letters VIGNAN. See here strLWR. You will get all the lowercase letters. And the next one is strUPR. Right? So it will convert the content of the given string into uppercase. See the same example. VIGNAN. The S is initially having VIGNAN. After strUPR of S will be converted into all uppercase letters VIGNAN. So this is the output we will get if you use strUPR. You will get VIGNAN. And strSET, as we discussed in the starting, this function will set all the characters in the given string to the given character. This function will set all the characters in the given string with this given character. The syntax is strSET of what is the string we are going to convert, that string followed by the character. See with an example. Yes, pointing to Vignan. Now you are going to change the content of the given string with $. You are going to change the content of the given string with $. So after strSET of S comma $, S is now pointing to all dollars. How many characters here you have? 6 characters. So you will get only $6. Right? That means strSET will set all the characters in the given string with a given character. So what is the character here we are giving? $. With that character your string will be converted, right? That is strSET. strNSET will set only a particular number of characters with a given character. See here, string and what is the character you are going to set and how many characters you are going to set. S equals to Vignan strSET of S comma $3. That means how many characters you are going to set? Only 3 characters. So now S will be changed to $, and NaN. Only first 3 characters will be changed to $, and the remaining content will be displayed as it is. That is strNSET. Right? strNSET. Number of characters we are going to change. And strChr. strChr is used to search for a particular character. It is used to search for the first occurrence of the given character in the given string. strchr is used to search for the first occurrence of a given character in the given string. See, this is the syntax. This is the string and this is the character. Okay, we are going to search for this character in the given string. We are going to search for this character in the given string. If this character is available, this function will return the pointer where it is available, where it is firstly available. Okay, let us discuss with an example. Here we have some information, http://www.tutorialspoint.com. Okay, so now I am going to search with dot. I am going to search with dot. strchr of str comma ch. So where this dot is available, here we have two dots, 2 points, right? But strchr will returns the first occurrence, So here you are going to find the dot. So you are going to display. After dot is what we have? tutorialspoint.com, right? So if you want to search for the last occurrence, we have another function which is strchr. strchr is used for the last occurrence of the character in the given string with the given character. Okay, strchr of same string comma character. See here, if you use strchr here, strchr comma str comma ch, then what is the output you will get here? In place of dot tutorials point, you will get .com. You will get only .com because last occurrence. So this is the last occurrence in your given string. So you will get this output only. Okay. So these are various string functions available in string.h header file. We have discussed about string length, string copy, ncopy, concatenate, nconcatenate, compare, ncompare, compare and ignore case, ncompare and ignore case, right? String set, string nset, string search, that means strchr, strrchr. These are all various different functions we have available, built-in functions we have available in string.h header file. Okay. So this is the importance about strings. Okay. In the next session, we will discuss about pointers. Thank you.